on, fellow A-Plusers? It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, certainly back once again with a brand new episode for you guys today and a brand new look. Decided to go ahead and chop off all that hair for a little bit, try and bring in the New Year's look. I gotta look good for Christmas and New Year pictures, you know what I'm saying? Fresh new start, guys, and with a fresh new start here this year, we've got a brand new Super Sentai for us to certainly look forward to when it comes to 2022, as today was the day we got our very first look at Avataro Sentai DonBrothers, set to go ahead and debut this March 6th, 2022. So go ahead and mark your calendars for March 6th, ladies and gentlemen. We've been waiting for this for quite some time. We've been getting grains of salt here and there sort of thing, getting an idea of silhouettes, right? What they certainly could potentially look like through concept art, fan art, and things like that. We don't have to guess anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Presenting to you Avataro Sentai DonBrothers. First off, I'm loving the logo here. I get to see why they say, why does this look like kind of like a video game sort of thing? I don't know why my mind went to like Beautiful Joe, if I'm not mistaken, for some reason when I check out the logo in here. But regardless, this looks clean, man. I am so excited. I'm such a big fan of what these costumes certainly look like. Just looking at them from a distance here, a couple things definitely stand out to me. I see a lot of people pointing out the IGN sort of logo on the boot buckles, on the braces sort of thing. That certainly makes me laugh. But I'm loving the hair knot that we've got on the back of red here. Definitely see the peach. Definitely see the peach leaves. Even if you look at the individual belts too for all of our DonBrothers, very reminiscent to that of Zenkaiser, where he holds usually all his gears. So definitely some influences coming from Zenkaiser over to this particular season. We get the opportunity to see all of our main characters in here. We've got Red, who's a humanoid, Yellow, and Oni's sister, who's a humanoid, along with Blue also, who's a humanoid in here. It feels very much like the two characters that we're going to be getting that are CGI is in fact Pink along with Black here, and I'm really intrigued to kind of see how this is certainly all going to play itself out. But from first looks, first impressions, wow, I think they definitely won me over immediately. And I'm usually the type of person that doesn't like to really hold judgment onto what they're seeing until after we get maybe more HD quality photos, whether that be from magazines, whether that be from actually on set sort of thing, maybe first trailers, if you will. But when they just hit me like this with greatness, I'm a really big fan, honestly. I'm really loving the look that we're certainly getting here. So this is in fact our very first look, ladies and gentlemen. And not only did they go ahead and actually give us the DonBrothers official poster to certainly check out, but also the bike as well, ladies and gentlemen. Now this certainly feels, if you were wondering where Jurin is certainly going to pop up, they've been talking a while now in regards to the idea that Jurin was in fact going to combine to go ahead and make the bike. And you can definitely see it in here. Still very much pulling from the Zenkaiser gears. I believe they're going to be referred to as Avataro gears this time around. But even on the hubcaps for the bike, you get to see the 46th Super Sentai team here. And it's even got their logo on there also. So I'm loving this first look, man. I really am. They can give me, hopefully they'll give us more within the next couple of weeks here as we certainly push forward. I believe they mentioned the idea that the actual press conference for DonBrothers won't be happening until February, so we certainly still have a little bit ways to go. If you are curious, they have also made an announcement that Don Brother himself, Don Momotaro, or I'll look up the name real quick for you guys, but he will in fact be appearing in the 42nd episode of Zenkaiser, which is set to go ahead and drop January 9th. Just so shortly right into the new year, we're going to finally begin an opportunity to see our brand new Red that will hopefully have some influence in regards to how Zenkaiser ends and how DonBrothers certainly begins, as we're definitely supposed to be having Kaido and I believe Jurin certainly returning as regular characters. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up some info for you guys just to fill you in. DonBrothers is a 5-member Sentai team consisting of Red, who is Don Momotaro. You've got the Blue Ranger in Saru Brother. You also have Yellow Ranger as Oni's sister, Pink Ranger as Kiji Brother, and then the Black Ranger as Ainu brother as well. It says, in difference to traditional suit actors, Kiji brother, which is the Pink Ranger, and Inu brother, which is the Black Ranger, will apparently be computed animated rangers. The Don Brothers team will channel the success of Sentai gears with a new model of equipment known as Avataro gears. The team's signature weapon is the Don Blaster, a double-barreled pistol with gear features. Don Momotaro carries a unique weapon as well, the Zang Glass sword that can also use gears. And just looking from this, it looks like, especially when you look at Oni's sister along with Saru brother, yellow and blue, you get the opportunity to see exactly those the Don blasters there. Great weapon design, if you ask me. I really would like to see a little bit more of a close-up, but what's really jumping out at me is definitely the Zang Glass sword. I mean, you can see exactly where the hilt of the sword is supposed to be. That looks exactly where they're going to go ahead and put their gears to go ahead and maybe access other abilities and powers and things like that. I mean, even if, they talked about the idea of Don Momotaro himself, the Red Ranger, having an armor, and I'm really loving the fact that it legit looks like shoulder pads almost. Not quite football style, but it definitely looks much more athletic style. I'm loving the red, the white trim in here, the silver outline it looks like for the peach leaf. I wasn't quite sure what color the peach itself was going to be, but it looks like it's some sort of pinkish maybe. I don't know if that's just colors bouncing off of it or not, like a metallic sort of pinkish. I'm not quite sure, but I'm really loving it, honestly. You do get to see that when it comes to the Pink Ranger in here for Kiji brother, I love her slenderness. Definitely taking aspects from the idea of the swan animal from the Momotaro fairy tale, and then also when you look at the Black Ranger and Inu brother, definitely get the opportunity to see the dog elements in there as well. For some reason, when I look at Inu brother in here, I don't know why I get like Rocket Raccoon sort of vibes, to be perfectly honest with you. He looks like he's going to be a pretty interesting character. I am still a little bit hesitant when it comes to the CGI factor. I am really interested to see how they're certainly going to go ahead and pull it off, especially when they're not in their CG forms, and especially when it comes to their henshin and their transformation. I cannot wait to see what they certainly look like. But I think Inu brother might be a scene stealer from time to time. I can't even lie. I'm really curious to see what his personality and things like that is certainly going to be. But yeah, man, I'm loving the weapon designs. I love all the costumes. For me, also another standout for me is definitely Saru brother. Again, that's the Blue Ranger, Saru brother. I love his sleeves almost. It definitely feels very much, I know it's supposed to be like a monkey, but it feels more like gorilla style to me a little bit. But regardless, it feels almost just like a really puffy sort of fabric instead of him actually being an actual monkey itself, more like monkey themed, if you will, because I do believe red, yellow and blue are going to be more humanoid forms, whereas you got the CGI characters in the Pink Ranger, Kiji brother, along with the Black Ranger, Inu brother. It's going to give me a while before I actually get the hang of all these names, honestly. Real quick, I do got to shout out Real Matt Hunt for certainly coming through and providing great information for me here today, along with rangerboard.com. If you go over to rangerboard.com on their thread for the Don Brothers, they've got a ton of information, guys. Here's some official announcements deriving right from that. It says the birth of an innovative work using Momotaro as a motif. Exactly like the legend, the story will join together the new red Don Momotaro and his friends to take on an overwhelming threat. This team has a silhouette and shape never before seen in Super Sentai history. It feels like just based off of what we got in the 45th anniversary, right? A unique Super Sentai team filled of all robots sort of thing. Definitely trying to make Super Sentai history and creative, I gotta admit, with their with the presentation that they have here. Our hero Don Momotaro was placed in a peach-shaped capsule following his birth. Saru brother, which is blue, Kiji brother, pink, Inu Brother Black join his quest against the bad guys like their counterparts in the legend. But what is their relation to Oni's sister in yellow, who has an Oni motif? So I find that interesting. So it seems as though Oni's sister is maybe a late addition to this particular crew, as it seems as though the rest of the characters have already been with Don Momotaro on his quest, very much like the fairy tale certainly goes. It says Don Momotaro, Red, will make a surprise appearance in the 42nd episode of Zenkaiger. What will the relationship be like between Kaido and him as well? So some really great insight in regards to that. Before we get into, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do it since I have the poster up, and so you guys can certainly get familiar with everybody. There are some brief character descriptions that you guys definitely should know about. So Don Momotaro, our Red Ranger and new leader of the team, he has a Momotaro samurai motif, which I love that mixture, honestly, with the chest protector armor like Zenkaiser. But I'm kind of digging the design of this. Not to say that sometimes simple is better, but not to take anything away from Zenkaiser, because I absolutely love what that costume looks like. But this definitely feels like it's its own thing for sure. Initially, he appears in Zenkaiger and transforms using the gear to linger with his personal Avataro gear. So I don't know if he's got his own personal gear to linger. It just says using the gear to linger. Maybe he picks it up from somebody, but Homeboy's got his own gear, certainly ready to go. This feels very much like maybe his mom has maybe made something for Don Momotaro, right? Like, how does he get the gears, considering the fact that the only people that I know of from Zenkaiger that have created the gears has in fact been Kaido's parents, and we know Ijiru clearly stole that sort of information from Ijiru's parents. It feels very much like if anybody else is going to have gears, they probably have gotten them so far from maybe their parents. That's one of the rumors and theories, at least, that we've been rolling with here. But it says, but in Don Brothers, he will use the Don Blaster instead. He is one of 2 humanoids on the core team, not counting the Zenkaiser team members. His personal bike mecha is the, let me go ahead and pull that back up here for you guys too. It is the Enya Ride-On, which can be combined with Zenkai Jurin to form Don Zenkai O. He can also transform into his own CGI mecha. So that's interesting. So the bike does have its own individual mecha, it sounds like, that can turn his own CGI mecha. But then maybe when you get the opportunity to go ahead and combine with Jurin, this is where we wind up getting the bike. I might be wrong on that, but we'll see as the series progresses. So yeah, man, pretty exciting stuff. Now, Oni's sister, the other humanoid on the team, the Yellow Ranger. I love her costume also, clearly rocking that skirt also. I'm not quite sure if Pink is rocking a skirt or not. Not to say that she absolutely needs to. Maybe I'll have to look a little bit closer. It looks like his hand and the gear is certainly in the way. I mean, it is a swan, so I assume that it's female. With her having that slender physique though, and being a CGI character, they may go completely a different direction here. So we'll definitely see. But I'm really loving I'm really loving the costumes. Like, I truly am loving the costumes. You can clearly see the influences of the animals and creatures that they are, especially in the helmets, like with Inu Brother as black, like his dog ears certainly coming through. You know, clearly the wings on the swan and things like that. I'm was that Kiji Brother also, but Oni's sister, I'm like, are those horns? Are those like demon horns? I'll look a little bit closer, but it says Oni's sister, our Yellow Ranger, she has an Oni motif, the villain of Momotaro in the legend, as well as being designed after a spiked club, the favorite weapon of Oni. Interesting. I think, you know, some of the things that have been suggested is that she's probably related to the main villain. So this definitely would connect those dots for sure. She also has a skirt and is the closest in design to Don Momotaro out of the Rangers. Rumors point her being related to the enemy organization and having an evil side or form, which is contained in ornate wooden box. She is also rumored to be able to grow, shrink at will. One would assume her look mirrors Momo Brothers, only female and representing Oni. Just reading that alone, easily my most interesting character. There is clearly a mystery behind her. The fact of some of the things that she can do, having a potential evil side or form. Is she gonna turn out to be an evil ranger form at some particular point in time during this series? Maybe pushed to the limit or something unlocked or used by a villain or whatever the case may be to bring her to that particular side. I don't know, but I'm loving the mystery around her already. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on her also. Saru brother in blue, it says our Blue Ranger with the monkey motif looks like a gorilla and is a physical suit, but isn't a humanoid character. Oh, so interesting. So it seems as though that almost sounds like he isn't a humanoid character. So is he gonna be CG in the show also? But when he henshins, it then becomes a physical suit with an actual humanoid body to it. That's really interesting to me. I'm gonna be interested to see how that they wind up pulling that off. That's like as great as they look. I am really fascinated to see what they're going to look outside of the suits, CGI form, humanoid form, whatever the case may be, and how they transform. Inu brother, our Black Ranger, little homeboy there, it says with a dog motif, CGI character that stands about 3 heads tall and fights with Shuriken, a cartoon, pretty much a cartoon dog. So, a cartoon dog, that's interesting to me, especially with he's going to be CGI. I do wonder if he's going to be, if they say cartoon dog, maybe overly animated in the sense, right? Like not just on all fours, but literally maybe homeboy with his big head walking around on 2 feet and actually having hands. That feels very cartoon doggish to me instead of walking around on all fours. And so immediately, again, my mind goes to Rocket Raccoon in regards to the design, height. I will be curious to see what his personality is going to be like also. But I honestly think Inu brother might steal the show. I really do think so. Kiji brother, our Pink Ranger with a pheasant motif, resembles a winged Slenderman. That's kind of creepy, and is also CGI. When I think of like Slenderman, for some reason I think of like a horror movie that I wind up watching one time. So hopefully it's not as creepy as that. Hopefully there's a little bit of elegance to her, if you will, to kind of give away or remove some of the creep vibes. On the side, when it comes to characters, they do have Zenkai Jurin, one of 2 Zenkai characters carrying over. Jurin combines with Enya Ride-On, Don Momotaro's bike to form the new first Robo Don Zenkai O. So he's gonna be a part of their gigantic mech also. And then you've got Zenkaiser Black. Kaido will join Jurin as a returning regular cast member and gain a new form, appearing in the show until at least June. It is unknown why they are along for the ride, but it probably has something to do with their familiarity, Don brother Momotaro and his Sentai gear. So I'm excited to see what this new form is certainly going to look like. It would be cool if it's literally Zenkaiser in all black, but who certainly knows, guys. But there you go, Avataro Sentai DonBrothers. If you guys are in fact interested in regards to who's going to be the staff members, they have at least made some announcements in here. A couple of ones that really stand out to me: the head writer, and I'm going to butcher this name, guys, again, and I'm not trying to. I will do my best to pronounce it, just out of respect for the man, for sure, for everything that he's certainly been through. So head writer is Inoyu Toshiki. It looks like some of his previous work, mostly from Jetman, honestly, as far as like really big lengths of how much time he's actually spent. When I look at his IMDb page for Jetman, it says he was the main writer and did about 29 episodes of that. He did have a couple of other work, 4 episodes out of Die Ranger, 2 episodes out of O Ranger, but his main thing, his main bread and butter really goes back to Jetman. Now, a main series in regards to Super Sentai that I personally have not watched, but one that I definitely have wanted to go back. I've heard great things in regards to it. Going back and watching Gokaiger also was one of my favorite episodes to see Jetman in Black, the character that played Black for Jetman. Really love that episode. Really makes me want to go ahead and explore that series. But he's going to be back. It's been a huge gap in time for him since he's written, at least being the main writer of a Super Sentai series. But he certainly will be back also, and then he definitely has tackled some common writer over the years as well. So definitely really excited to see exactly what he's certainly going to go ahead and bring to the table. And again, if there's if anything in his past when it comes to Jetman has anything to do with it, we might be in store for something fantastic. Director wise, we got Tasaki Ryuta. Tasaki Ryuta, most notably known from their time with Gingaman as well when it comes to directing. His most recent stuff, though, it does say that he wind up doing Kamen Rider Revice, the movie. He also did the Saber plus Zenkaiger, the superhero Senkai movie that you wind up getting, and then Kamen Rider O's. He wind up doing that. So if you were looking for some more current stuff that he's done, those are definitely the 3 movies and shorts that he certainly tackled. He did a couple of episodes from Zenkaiger, a couple of episodes from Karamager also, but it seems those were the current things, and his main bread and butter was certainly Gingaman as well. So definitely interesting when it comes to directing. I'm not familiar with a lot of those movies themselves as far as me personally having not seen them, but they sound like they're pretty big and pretty epic movies just based off of all the amount of characters and action and stuff like that takes place. So I do think that this series is certainly in good hands, especially when it comes to the writing. Now, action director, guys, you've heard this name a bajillion times already. Fukazawa Hirofumi. This guy is everywhere in regards to his stunt acting work. He recently just did stunt acting work for Gokai Red and 10 Gokaiger also. He's been an action director in the Karamager Bebop Dream series, the Zenkaiger Episode 0 movie he was a stunt director for, Kyoryuger as well as an action director, even a couple of episodes of Tokyuger as well, and an action director for Go Busters too. So he's definitely has and a stunt actor mostly for his time in Gokaiger. So he loves being showy, to certainly say the least. He loves certainly bringing the action, and that's all I can certainly ask for, especially when it comes to an action director for sure. So I definitely know that the fight sequences are gonna be fire when it comes to the DonBrothers as well. But here you go again, guys. DonBrothers, the first look. 3 humanoid forms, at least when they're in their physical forms, or when they're at least in their DonBrother forms. 2 CGI characters. Really looking forward to seeing how this certainly all comes together, guys. But listen, these are just simply my A+ opinions. At the end of the day, I definitely want to go ahead and know yours. I'm looking at just the let me see if I can let me enlarge this a little bit here too, have some fun with this and see if we can't I love the abs on Blue for sure. Let me go ahead and pull this up full screen too for you guys. Loving the little gears. It looks like they all have like the little peach gear symbol on their armor. They all have a chest plate armor of some sort here, which is pretty interesting to see. A lot of them have their own shoulder pads too. I see what they mean when they say spike. I didn't realize Oni's sister, not only does she have the spikes or like the demon horns, but if you look at her shoulder pads, she's got spikes coming out of there too. Almost reminds me of like Koopa shells for some reason when I look at them. I love the design for her also. You know, at first when I first looked at it, I thought they had like leather pants on, kind of reminded me of Go Busters, but when I look at it, it definitely looks more like cloth and just like regular material sort of thing also. But yeah, I loving the little Zenkaiger belts that they're carrying over. Love the braces, the gauntlets. I'm really loving the designs overall, man. This looks like it's going to be a pretty fun and unique series all unto itself. And I gotta say, man, you know, props to them for continuing to have as much fun with this as they have. It looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm trying to see if I can, come on, bring this back up. There we go. And I love this logo too. I'm definitely going to have to rip this logo in the meantime. But let me go ahead and pull this back up for you guys. But yeah, man, DonBrothers is finally here. Looking great if you ask me. I cannot wait to certainly see more. Again, they did mention the idea that the Toei press conference for DonBrothers will certainly be here in February. But if we get any magazine scans, any other information, maybe other official first looks, we definitely will go ahead and certainly keep you guys posted here. But listen, based off of this official poster and official first look, what do you guys think about DonBrothers? Again, these are just simply my A+ opinions. I want to know yours, so let your thoughts be known in the live chat or the comment section box below, guys. And we'll probably talk about this coming back from the holiday seasons at A+ Morphinominal. But if we do get any other information, I'll probably make its own individual video for you guys, keep you at least up to date. And then we do have a live episode of A+ Morphinominal returning possibly that January 1st, guys, on New Year's Day. So look forward to that, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted if you're following us and subscribe to us over on our community tab. But until next time, guys, do me a big favor, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.